videotape revolution brought a new appreciation for horror films.
It was like this dam broke.
And it changed everything.
There's a link between heavy metal and horror.
I was the DJ.
It's the sweeping sensation. You're right here, right now.
It's unimaginable that people still care about this movie.
A weaponized guitar.
There's a lot of love and craft that I really appreciate.
I thought I could create magic.
It was diabolical.
It's so grimy and slimy.
It's unbearable to watch.
It might have been a bit too much for a mainstream audience.
I rode that appeal.
Something wrong with him. He makes this kind of movie.
We were just kids having fun.
We're making movies. We're doing what we love.
And that's why we love these movies so much to this day.
I could watch 80s horror movies on a loop forever.
Probably made me into the weirdo that I am today. I don't know.
Hello, fellow warriors, and happy Halloween, and welcome back to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene. Hope you guys are ready for a spooky treat, at least from me and Tom. Runner, he's Runner. But with me tonight is Runner and Tom. How you guys doing? I'm not even sure if Runner's back yet, but so how you doing, Tom? I love it. I love it. Glad to have you guys here. Hope you guys are ready for some spooky, scary movies. There you go, Runner. You here finally?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
So you want to say hi to everybody real quick before we get into all this?
Hey, everyone. Hail chat. You all are awesome. It's going to be a hell of a show today.
Yes, sir. And we have deleted scenes. Hail deleted scenes. Welcome as always. Smash that like and share the link. As always, channel member here for 3 months. Glad to see you here. And then we have
Steven?
Yes, Steven. Then we have Anthony Draven. Hail Anthony Draven. We have Tim Hayes. What's up, Tim Hayes? Another great channel member here for the past 3 months. Brian Barth. Welcome, Brian Barth. Glad to have you here. Random Brad Creator. Good to see you here as always as well. Dalton B. Cheers to you as well, my friend. Orion Kayan. I hope I said your name right. The Kayan, I'm not sure. Hi, he says. Good evening. Stephen Luther. What up, my friend? And Sean Stackhouse. Greetings, Sean. I hope you're ready for a treat tonight. And everybody watching that's not in the chat, hail to you all, and glad to have you here. Good, I did. Can. I'm glad I'm first time I've seen you here, so glad to see you here in the chat. So, what do you guys want to talk a little bit about before we get into this? Because this is like the Halloween episode, and we can cover some releases if you want, but or we can talk a little horror movies before we show our horror movies. So, what are you guys up to? What are you feeling?
I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't keep up with any of the news lately.
There's not many new releases coming out that we got any news on. Nothing special. We did I don't want to say that because we're going to talk about it later with Tom. It was one of his picks, so we'll talk about it then when we get to it. But as you saw there, Sleepaway Camp might be coming to 4K. That's something. But
to watch those.
Yeah, well, the first one is as long as you don't know the ending, Runner, I'd like to hear what you have to say when you get to the end of that.
I'm interested now.
Yeah. Oh, good. I got it right. So that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, so like, honestly, you guys know I'm a huge fan of horror movies. I try to, at least on this channel, because I don't want to just be a horror channel because there are so many of them and I like to cover so many things, but it's hard not to cover the horror movies I love so much all the time. So, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and this is my type of year. I love Halloween. I love going into Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is like the best 3 months of the year. And the movie watching is just pretty spectacular starting now. So yeah. But Runner, you're fairly new to horror movies. What do you got to say about some of the ones that you've seen from learning from us?
It's been a great journey so far. Horror is slowly becoming one of my favorite genres in just cinema overall. I mean, I'm starting to get more into the Halloween movies, which has been a blast so far. I still need to watch more of them, but my schedule is really keeping me from
That's
all that.
Yeah, the schedule is hard to watch when you try and find movies to watch.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try my best to watch. I think it's Halloween 3 real soon because I've heard that one's got like a big like cult following now.
Yes, it does. You do know it's outside of the Michael Myers timeline, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do. I am fully aware. I did buy the 4K because I bought it in the Spooktober sale along with Halloween 2, and I did watch Halloween 2 recently. I
It's a good
really
one,
enjoyed
ain't
it. It's a really good one. I know John Carpenter hates it, but I think it's a damn good movie.
I think it is too. I think it is often overlooked, and I think so many of us, like so many people, are like sticklers that say, "Oh, John Carpenter hated it," so I don't. Well, just because he hated it doesn't mean you can't like it, because it is actually a really good installment.
Exactly. To like turn that around, John Carpenter said that he liked Halloween Ends, and I think it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Halloween Ends is bad.
And he said he said he liked it, and he sort of like kind of explained why. He's kind of like he kind of like says it like almost any other defender of the movie is oh, it does something different and all that, and I respect him for it, but it's not a good movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
I hate it.
We got some creepiness happening.
Michael Myers is a pussy.
I love it. How sweet, fresh meat.
How sweet.
But
runner meat.
Nice.
Leatherface, chop me up some bacon, bitch.
I love it.
But to continue on,
that was great.
I think I already told Greg this already, but like my sort of like gateway to horror was the first Evil Dead, directed by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, and then I watched Evil Dead 2 after that, obviously, and then Army of Darkness and all that. But like that first movie, like objectively, the second one's a better movie, but like that first movie is something really special to me anyway, because it's like after watching that movie, it's like, and then hearing kind of where Sam Raimi came from, like, oh, he just got some friends of his to make this little movie, very low budget, no money at all spent or any of that. I'm like, damn, I want to do something like that,
Yeah.
It was a big like inspiration. I'm taking a digital video class now in college, and I also took a film class year before, so I'm gonna try to get into that stuff. And that was kind of the movie that was like, yeah, I want to do this as a career.
Nice.
And then sort of going on later, Wes Craven's Scream was another one. Just the wacky, fun, but also scary type of movie.
Yeah.
Those first three movies I think are a great trilogy. And then, also like the movie that the horror movie that got me into John Carpenter as a director. Halloween was the first movie I've seen of his, but what made me really love him was The Thing.
Of course. That's like, yeah.
The Thing.
What thing?
What thing made you love him?
Yeah, what thing was it?
It's a good one. Well, don't get me wrong. I love that first. Don't get me wrong. I love the first Halloween movie, but don't get me wrong. I love the first Halloween movie, but The Thing is something really special to me. Like that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. But I love horror movies and I love talking about them. And I'm interested to see your picks tonight. Now, Runner, I know you didn't bring a lot of horror movies tonight because you're Runner.
Actually, I did. Hey, I use some of my horror movies for other. Like I am starting to build my 4K horror collection. I am. No, I actually brought 2 horror movies. I did say I was gonna bring one backstage, but I ended up trading it with another that I have seen that I just happen to not show yet. So yeah, technically I have 2.
Okay,
that I've
good.
got. And
I
one
agree
of
with you.
them is
Don't be
a
the.
really.
Go ahead. Sorry, I
No,
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Nah,
I do. Okay, I do agree with you. Don't Be The Fly is a great movie. I love that. It's great. Jeff Goldblum's. That's Cronenberg, right? Yeah, I can never remember Cronenberg and.
I think so.
I can never
I still
remember.
need to
I know.
watch
I mean,
that.
I know it's him, but I always get him. I'd always want to say David Lynch for some reason because it's David Cronenberg, David Lynch, but I don't know why. Oh,
That
I
doesn't
love
sound like a
werewolf
David
movies.
Lynch type of flick.
I don't know what that was.
Oh. No. I know it's not a David Lynch film, but it's David Cronenberg and David Lynch, and I always want to say Lynch instead of Cronenberg for some reason. I don't know why. Funny you should bring that up, Chronologic. You just may have some talk about that later tonight. So,
What the hell? There's something going on outside here. Oh shit! There's a zombie infestation. Hang on. Get out of here, Shoo.
Get out of here, Shoo.
I love the creepy sound
It's
effects.
just a crazy goddamn night tonight. I swear to God.
It's like something in the air.
It'd be 10 times funnier if Tom just like was on camera, like beating the shit out of the zombies, trying to kick him out of his house. It'd be 10 times better.
Is this something out there? Something in the walls, maybe.
Oh shit! Not again.
Oh, boy. It reminds me of Cabin in the Woods when they're the people down in the basement in the place where they're going through all the stuff that can happen from horror movies.
Enough's enough. I've had enough of these ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts.
Damn bastards. All right, what do we got going on here?
Okay. I guess we'll go ahead. We'll start with Runner. What is your first pick of the night, Runner?
All right, so this is
or should I say Fred?
What'd you call me?
Night Fred. You little shits.
It'd be better if you called me Wes, but no, I'm kidding. This movie is not a horror movie. This is the only non-horror movie I picked because I can't think of any other stuff that I have that's horror because I used all of them pretty much. But I'll say this: the main protagonist of this movie would make a damn good costume for some of you guys, and that is Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy.
You know, I've still not seen that.
If you're a Ryan Reynolds fan, you
all right. It's basically Grand Theft Auto the movie.
Really?
Yeah, but it's fun as shit.
Yeah, it's not nearly as violent, obviously, but
well, no, but like it's pretty good. I mean, if you've because I did watch that one movie that you recommended me, Greg, the one where he's a waiter.
Oh, Waiting. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
movie.
Waiting. Yeah, like that movie and oh my god, I can't remember the movie. The one where he's fat in the beginning.
Oh, Just Friends.
Yeah, Just Friends because it's on Netflix. Yeah, I like those movies. You know, if you like Ryan Reynolds in those, you'll like him in this.
I've heard good things about it. Just have never really had time to get to that one. As with all the other stuff I want to watch, is
I mean,
the thing.
it's not like one I'd like. It's not like a you got to see this right away type of. It's like nah, like if you like have time to kill, this is a decent movie to watch.
I have been meaning to watch it, so I'll get to it. But that's pretty cool. I've heard great things. Well, good things. At least it's a decent movie, is what they said.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I didn't see it in the theaters because I'm like, I don't know. I didn't care for the trailers all that much, but I think I watched it at home and I was like, yeah, this is a decent movie. I enjoyed it.
Cool. I can't. I wish I could talk a little more about it, but I can't. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better of the video game experience type of movies. It's one of the it's like the better version of Ready Player One.
Okay.
What else can I say about this film? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty crazy. The love interest or whatever, she's pretty hot.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah. And is it Steve from Stranger Things is in it?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Taika Waititi's in it. He's a bad guy. I don't like him, but honestly, this role fits him perfectly as a bad guy because it just works better because he's Taika Waititi.
Okay. Welcome, Victor Fontaine.
And yeah, I did get this movie on a sale.
All right, cool. Well, like I said, I wish I could talk more about it, but that was Runner's first pick of the night, swinging out the gate with a bunt, I guess you can say.
I seen it. It was all right. It's mostly forgettable though.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really remember.
I mean, for some people, this might be a one and done type movie, but the guy who directed this movie, Sean Levy, whatever his name is directing Deadpool 3.
Oh, Sean Levy. Doesn't he have something to do with the Stranger Things and Goldbergs?
He does. He has something to do with Stranger Things. Yeah, he's directed and like produced some episodes.
Huh. Interesting.
I think. Well, he's also done other things, like he directed Real Steel with Hugh Jackman.
I never seen that movie.
I haven't seen it either. I just know that's one of his more popular ones, and now he's doing Deadpool 3 with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Go figure.
So, I don't know. That's probably the one. I mean, like Tom's said this lately. I'm pretty much tapped out of Marvel, but Deadpool 3 might. That one has the most potential out of all of them.
We shall see. All right. Any final words before we move on to you, Tom?
No. I like I said, I wish I could remember a little bit more of the movie. I remember enjoying it when I watched it, but I haven't gone back to it since I bought it digitally when it first came out. And
right.
Well, I heard Tom's review of it first, and he was like, "Yeah, it was enjoyable or something like that." I remember you saying that, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should check this out."
There was a few things I might have done differently, but other than that, I think it was all right. And like Script Doctor said, the original script was better, so that's always kind of one of those things.
That's one of those weird things.
I can honestly see that happening. I'd be now I'm interested to see what the real script is.
Usually, if you ask Script, he'll send it to you.
Cool. All right. So
he doesn't follow me on Twitter, so I don't know if I can DM him.
Yeah, just say something on one of the shows, maybe. If not, or I can probably try.
Oh wow, I didn't. All right, cool. I didn't get it for that much. Damn. I wish I could buy it for
shit,
$12.
I would actually pay that much for it.
Yeah, $12 is not bad for a 4K, especially of a newer movie. So yeah.
Speaking of, this was one that was
what do we got for you?
Priced one. You guys talked about it last week, so we don't have to dwell on this too much. But yeah, I agree. The transfer was decent. The Atmos sounds amazing. And not only that, I guess what I can key in is the fact that you get a whole new bonus disc of special features in here.
I know, it's beautiful.
It was already packed to the brim with special features on the original release from a couple of years back. And yeah, I was surprised when I popped in that bonus disc and I seen all the EPK stuff and
right,
the music video, because I'm like, oh shit, they didn't get the music video again this time, because I don't think it says on the back here. But once you throw in the EPK, it's one of the first things on the EPK, so it's like,
yes, yeah, exactly.
Like,
Welcome
night
to Fright Night.
Who's it gonna be tonight? Those time.
I love that movie. It's such a classic.
I'm right. We are in for a most frightening night.
Badass Fright Night.
I love that song, Jay Giles Band.
That's so good. That is good.
Who's it gonna be tonight?
The whole thing, like the Jay Giles Band, the music, Tom Holland, Chris Sarandon, I can't even think of his name. What's his name? William Ragsdale. All of that, man. It all works.
I'll make together. The argument. It's one of those few songs, because we got a lot of those cheesy songs in the 80s where it was the title of the movie and then the song was about the movie. To me, even though it was never a big hit for Jay Giles Band, it is one of the best of those where it actually is about the movie. Clearly, they watched the movie and they're like, yeah, we're going to write a song about the movie. It's like,
yeah.
Kind of like that or one I'm sure I'll talk about eventually here. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is another one that's like that to me. It's just
I love that movie.
How much more perfect can you get that?
Exactly. And speaking of which, I know a guy who does drums on that song. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the Killer Clowns one or the
Killer? Well, he's
one of the Dickies?
For the new music. He does the new music, and he did play drums with the Dickies drummer for the new video game. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, I remember you saying something about that. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can tell. I love when they do that. I love when they actually watch the movie and then write the song about the movie instead of just taking the song that somebody wrote and say, let's do it for the movie.
Yeah, so you can tell they put some work into this soundtrack because for the time that it came out. I mean, of course, this is in the height of soundtracks, right?
Right.
So I mean, that part's not but no, just the fact that there's all this cool stuff on there. They've even got even though some of this you could probably go online and find it, but they have the script reading that they recently did with the cast. And all that kind of stuff, and it's just really neat to have all on there. And my only complaint was this is a weird one lately because it seems like Columbia had made this habit, or Sony had made this habit lately of throwing on the TV version even if they really didn't need to. And this is one of the times I was kind of surprised they didn't.
Yeah.
So you could kind of see the differences, but yeah.
I was wondering if maybe there's not too much taken out of the TV version, maybe.
I remember it being pretty heavily cut down. I had the TV. I mean, I remember my version I had for years was the TV version I watched.
Yeah. Well, damn it! Now that makes me want the TV cut because
they cut out all the swear words and
I know I love
blood and definitely the boobs.
Definitely, I tell you what, 4K.
See, and that's the thing is, I
beautiful.
think that there's a version of it where she has a different kind of top on at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, because that's another one of those of that era where they must have shot two different versions, if I remember right. If I'm not crazy in the chat, if somebody else remembers, but Dr. Coffin Nails, you actually had a little bit to say about this last time.
Yes, I was going to say we spoke because I brought on part 2. I have a bootleg of it. I don't have the thing. There's several reasons why Fright Night 2 has been notoriously hard to find. One of the biggest reasons, which I don't know if it's the main reason, but it plays into a lot, is because the Menendez brothers' father actually worked on the film. He was an executive producer or something, and apparently a lot of people, including Roddy McDowall, really hated him. And after he was murdered, they actually interviewed Roddy McDowall because he had gotten into a fight with him the day before his death. And so that is something that partially holds up the release of Fright Night Part 2, sadly. So for anybody who did not know. But yes, I agree with you, Tom. This is by far one of my favorite new 4K releases. So many great special features, packed to the brim. You get the So Cool Brewster documentary.
2.5 hour documentary.
2.5 hour. I mean, it's beautiful. And I mean,
you're so cool, Brewster.
I can't stand it.
I just had to play that real quick.
And I love the bit about the book, the novelization, where they're like the guys who wrote the novel were like all in splatter punk writers.
Yeah,
and they had no idea the movie was meant to be a comedy.
I love it.
So they talk about how the novelization is written as an earnest horror novel.
Yeah.
With some funny elements to it, but like they saw it as like they didn't realize it was going to be like a satire on Hitchcock, which I mean, honestly, I can't believe they didn't. If you just kind of look at it, you could tell right on the surface clearly what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
speaking of novels, Tom Holland himself has actually just wrote a new Fright Night. It's like a retelling of the first movie differently. And he's signing. You can order it, and he's been signing them. They're like $30. It's not bad. And he'll sign them, and you just order from his store.
Is it a comic book or is it a reprint?
No, it's a novel.
Novelization?
It's an actual novel.
Are you sure it's not a reprint of that novelization? Because they have that on this making of, or one of the featurettes is they're talking about that novel being reprinted. Because he wrote the original screenplay or whatever.
Yeah, he wrote the. I'm pretty sure this is a new novel of a alternate version of the first movie that he just wrote. Let me check real quick, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I do know there was a bunch of scenes and stuff that are different in that version too that changed, because that was the other thing they said is some of the humor came out during the filming, and Tom, did it on the set, so that was another part of it too, because it's basically the splatterpunk version of Fright Night.
Yeah, it's called Fright Night Origins by Tom Holland.
Okay, so it's something new. Cool.
It's I'm trying to think here. Yeah, he's been selling them on it. I've seen it on his Twitter. He's posted it. You can order it from his store, and it's his actual signature. He has pictures of him signing and stuff. Yeah. The novel itself looks like it's only like $17 just to buy it. It's paperback. So yeah.
I did not know that. I knew they were talking about that, and they said something about it being reprinted. So like the original novelization had been so.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
So yeah, it just seems like it's a bit different than the original. Sort of changing it up a bit, I think, is from what my understanding.
Are you sure it's not a prequel and it's about Chris Sarandon's character?
No, it says Charlie Brewster.
Okay.
It cuts off the synopsis here. I was trying to read it, but it didn't show up. It says, "You think you know the whole story, don't you? High school isn't going well for teenage horror fan Charlie Brewster. Still dealing with the loss of his father, he finds himself in his first serious." Oh, it's like the beginning. Okay, first serious relationship with vibrant, beautiful Amy Peterson. It's sort of like the beginning. I get it.
All right.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, if you're looking to get that, there you go. But that could be something interesting to read.
Yeah, and the other sad part I heard about Fright Night 2 is they wanted Chris Sarandon in it. And
yeah.
The Menendez father, whatever his name, what is it, Ben Menendez, I think?
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but yeah, apparently he was a jerk to everybody.
He wouldn't let him do it. Yeah, he's like, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah. Nice, huh?
That's what, isn't he? I think he's the reason Amanda Bierce didn't come back either, is because she wanted a little more and he wouldn't pay her.
Yep.
Because you got to remember, at that time she'd already been on Married with Children for a couple of years. So
Yep. That's true. And it's the sad thing is too, because even though Tom Holland did do it, and he gave Tommy Lee Wallace his blessing, he has wanted to go back and make part 2 with Charlie, Amy, Evil Ed, and Jerry.
And I didn't realize that movie had such a fucking following. I would have talked to Tommy a little bit more about it. I mean, I did talk to him a little bit about it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to hit him up again and see if he will just talk to me about that. I have to watch the movie again. It's been quite a few years since I've seen it.
I watched it not too long ago.
Obviously, you just
enjoyed it.
Talked about it last week.
Yeah, so. I know. I enjoyed it. It's not as good as the first one, but it's got its moments where it's like, especially when it gets to the culmination of the film, you're kind of like, you're almost back into that Fright Night groove from the first movie by the time it gets to the end. So
yeah, I remember liking the last half, but it was like the beginning is really a slog to get through.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get into it. So,
but no, I wish I had access to had watched it before I had talked to Tommy again. I probably would have had more frame of reference. But,
I might be able to see if I can get a copy to you or something. We'll see.
Yeah. Otherwise, I was thinking about once I get my financial situation figured out, I was thinking about. I think there might be some Blu-ray bootlegs out there now.
Yeah, I have the DVD, so
yeah. No,
But,
I try to, because I did finally get my Godzilla 85, and I think I mentioned that before. I haven't watched it all yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a beautiful 4K. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely recommend it. And it's the right price, especially for the steelbook. Nice steelbook. Really nice. I love it. It's the classic movie poster art, and they did a really good job with the reflectiveness on the case. It really pops with that little window.
It does, doesn't it?
And it is one of the more iconic 80s, movie posters. So yeah, I love.
Yeah, I'm glad they used that because like artwork lately has been pretty shitty, and that is some really great classic artwork that I like. So
right,
all right, big time.
Malcolm McDowell. I know we talked the movie up quite a bit, but I mean he does not get enough credit.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell. Yeah,
Malcolm, but yeah. Roddy McDowell. Jesus Christ, I said Malcolm.
He said Malcolm. I'd say that
I meant Roddy. I know I did.
Yeah. I was gonna say Malcolm McDowell was in the movie.
Because I mean, I think we got to do it a little bit last week, but like this was his comeback movie at that time because he had been blacklisted for like a decade, and or damn near. And so yeah, it was a pretty big deal at the time. And I know my dad was a pretty big fan of his, and I remember my mom enjoying the film when it came out, and it was just one of those movies that seemed like everybody kind of took to it, kind of like Lost Boys. It's a good one it's a good pair with that.
Yeah. And it's something you can watch with your kids too. So it's you might want to close your eyes on the boob scene, but
that's what's funny about it is how really now, and I can see how they got away with the remake in PG-13, but the remake I wished didn't exist. It's not bad, but it's one of those movies like remakes like Poltergeist that why do it if you're not going to really bring anything new to the table? And McLovin is Evil Ed just didn't quite fit, and
the thing is,
Anton Yelchin was okay. What's his face? Colin Farrell was okay, but he's no Chris Sarandon in that respect.
No, but he was intimidating, and I think the thing where they messed up with McLovin as Evil Ed is like they did that big opening with him where like he takes him out pretty early in the film, and then by the time he comes back, he's just McLovin as a vampire, and it's kind of like, I
mean, and Anton's great in it. Don't get me wrong, but like. It was one of those pointless remakes. It's like, why? Like you almost could have done, like that could have been a good one for a Legacy sequel with the guy who played Charlie in it and stuff. Like, something like his, he could take on more of the Peter Vincent role.
True.
But, no, it is one of those things that I'm not a big fan of. I do have the 3D Blu-ray of it, but.
Yeah, I actually enjoy but I'm in agreement with you. It's not the worst, but it is an unnecessary remake, though.
It's in that middling ground, where it's like, does it really need to exist? No, but it's not. It's mostly harmless, I guess. It's not as bad as Colin's fucking Total Recall remake.
Oh God, that's horrible.
I'll give it that. I mean,
yeah, it's true. It's true.
And I know the only reason it exists is because Sony wanted a 3D version of the movie.
Right.
They were on this kick then of remaking all these classic movies with the 3D tech because between all the VR stuff and everything with the PS3
or Fright Night or
PS4
Recall.
Fright Night.
Like if you notice there, Sony did a buttload of remakes all in kind of a span, including Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
and they were a big part of the RoboCop remake and shit like that. But for some reason, in the U.S. was the only place that RoboCop wasn't released in 3D.
Weird.
No, but wasn't the Fright Night remake Touchstone or something?
No,
it's Sony.
Really? Because I saw like the Blu-ray at my Best Buy, and it didn't say it was Sony. It said it was Touchstone.
Oh no, that's right. It is. It's got the Disney slipcover.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because like Disney with their shit. If I still had it out, because I had it last week. It's got the blue square around it, which is what a Disney's offshoot thing is.
Yeah, and it said Touchstone Pictures at the back of the box.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna grab it real quick, before then we'll move on because I know we've been on this way long than we anticipated. But hold on, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
You there, Tom? All right, I guess it's just me.
Yeah, I'm just beside myself right now because I'm like, I could have swore it was Sony, but maybe I'm wrong, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking it up. It was brought out by DreamWorks. It says here.
DreamWorks?
It is DreamWorks. But it's got like the Disney. See, here's the upload up real quick so you can see.
So actually, that'd be under Universal now.
See, here's the front, and then you go to the back. It's even got like the Disney thing up here. How they did it.
Yeah.
But
I could have sworn it said Touchstone. Like
DreamWorks
right
there.
The right. No, in the right. There's DreamWorks, but like right on the other side it says Touchstone.
Oh yeah, other side Touchstone right there.
Right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, must be co-production.
That's why it's got the Disney label
Weird.
on it.
I didn't know that. I could have swore it was Sony. Well, it wasn't just them. Everybody was remaking movies at that point.
Yeah. How'd they get the rights in? Sony still has that's weird.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm confused. So is DreamWorks Universal or Paramount?
No, they used to be both, but Universal bought out DreamWorks.
Okay.
Like DreamWorks would distribute through both.
Okay,
before.
yeah, because what is it? Gladiator on 4K. Ridley Scott's Gladiator is a Paramount release, but before it was both DreamWorks.
They did a lot
Universal.
of co-productions also because early on, like Spielberg still had a deal with like Universal, so they'd co-produce a movie with DreamWorks, and I'm sure like maybe Ridley Scott had a Paramount deal. Like Paramount and Universal would always be like their co-distributors way early on.
Got it.
And then they were kind of on their own after a while, but then they got bought up by Universal eventually.
All right, that makes sense.
But I believe back in the day, like a lot of them, like Paramount would handle it would be like, I think the split was Universal would usually handle, I think, the distribution in theaters, and then Paramount would handle the video, or it was like in the US it was Paramount and outside the US it was Universal, something like that.
Yeah, plus doesn't Paramount own Tropic Thunder? Because they
are a co-production on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, so it was like a whole, like, back then, and some of them fall. It probably all depends on who put in what money and stuff. You'd have to go through all that business, but
okay, because that movie was part of the 4K deal with Kino and Paramount.
Yeah. But check it out Friday night on 4K if you guys have not. It is well worth it. Truly, I would recommend.
If you
Friday
can
night,
get the Steelbook, get it fast.
Yeah, get the Steelbook. But I'm pretty sure they will release a standalone edition. It probably won't have all the discs like this one has.
It probably won't have like the slipcover because they did that for Heavy Metal.
Yeah, for Heavy Metal it didn't have slipcover. But they will be coming down the line if you missed out on the Steelbook.
Yeah, I'd get it fast because Sony's release of the Heavy Metal 4K was like amazing. Like great Steelbook. Same with Fright Night, and then I hear like a few months later, like, oh, they're releasing it like just a normal 4K release, and I've seen it at my Best Buy. No one's buying it. Sadly,
happens.
Yeah. I don't know the Steelbook though. For that, I'm so glad I got the Steelbook for that movie.
It is. It's great Steelbook, and I guess we'll move on to me for my first pick of the night. So I'm not typically someone. I gotta blow myself up here. I'm not typically someone for what they call torture porn horror movies, like the Saw. I did enjoy the first Saw movie. The first two I really liked, but then after that it kind of just got a little ridiculous. But these are two of the few that I can stand, but I don't really consider them torture porn, even though it is from the makers of Saw 4, 5, and 6. But The Collector and The Collection, part 1 and part 2, I really enjoy these movies right here because they're more than just like the violent, gory, bloody, like Saw trap type stuff. They're a slasher film, which is what I like. I'm a sucker for slasher films, and I kind of think like the Saw like traps that they sort of do in these are were kind of like put in because that was what was popular at the time. And considering The Collector was actually the first one was actually supposed to be a prequel to Saw, but then they were like, no, we don't want to do that, so they remade it their own. But I really enjoy these movies. I just watched them again. I don't know if I don't think I brought them on here before. Did I? Do you remember, Renner, if I brought these on or not?
Not sure if you have. I've never heard of those movies actually.
They're actually pretty fun. They're pretty good. They're very not well known. There is, like I said, there's a little bit. Go ahead.
And the guys who did Saw did this.
The guys that did Saw, the writers of Saw 4, 5, and 6 did these.
Okay, so was like James Wan attached to any of them?
No, it's not
Okay.
James Wan. No.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah. These are good. Essentially, they're a slasher film, like a new slasher, and it's about this guy. It's got a really great premise. That's why I really like it, because it's the story and the character. Besides, I mean, yeah, they got the whole chop them up, do like nasty traps, but nowhere near as bad as Saul, to be honest with you. But essentially, there's this guy. His name is Arkin, and he's working for this rich family. And he's like a contractor. He's like working on their house, and his wife gets into some trouble with some loan sharks, and they're going to come after his wife. And this guy Arkin has got some skills. He's been in prison. He's been in the military. So he makes a deal with the guy that he'll rob the rich family he's working for, because they got like this precious like stone. He'll steal that, and he'll give it to this guy if he spares his wife. So that's what they do. So he breaks into the rich people's house, and they're supposed to be gone. When he gets in there, somebody else has already broken in this really creepy mask, and he's this really creepy guy, and he's started setting up like traps in the house so nobody can get out. Not like Saw traps, but like certain traps so can't get out. And he's got the mom, and he's got the dad, and the little girl's missing. And so it's this really, really cool game of cat and mouse, because like he has to be quiet. The Arkham guy has to be quiet and alter the house so he doesn't get noticed by this guy. And he tries to save this family, but they have the murders, and then like he ends up saving the little girl. And then at the end of the first movie, which I know I'm spoiling the crap out of this movie for anybody, but it's really nothing that it's okay if it's spoiled. So at the end of the first movie, it looks like he's gotten away to save the little girl. The family died though. He ended up killing them, the other guy. And so he's in the ambulance on his way out, and then boom, here comes the guy, and he wrecks him, and he takes the guy, and he throws him in the suitcase, and he locks him up, and that's how it ends. And then the second movie, The Collection, picks up from there. The guy gets free, and the collector has kidnapped a rich man's daughter, played by Shooter McGavin. They kidnap his daughter. He takes his daughter. So these team of mercenaries, it goes sort of like Aliens. This team of mercenaries are hired to take him, the guy that escaped, into the collector's house and get back the girl. And it's just, I enjoy those movies because it's basically the character, and the slasher really works for me. I could do without some of the Saw, like bloody, gory stuff, but I kind of put it more in the vein of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre than I do Saw. That's just me though. But yeah, if you've not seen The Collector or The Collection, I'd check it out. There was actually supposed to be a part 3. It was going to be called The Collected, and it actually started filming in 2019, and Tom Atkins was supposed to be in the damn movie. I freaking love Tom Atkins. He was supposed to play the main guy's dad, Arkin. He was supposed to play his dad. But for whatever reason, after 8 days of filming, they shut it down, and they have no interest of going back to film it. So we will never get the third movie. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Sucks.
And yeah, it does suck. But this some of the very few torture porn like movies, which I don't like calling them because I don't really feel like they are, save for maybe a couple scenes that I can actually stand. So, because you know me, I'm typically more of like an 80s guy. And what gets me is like, you can tell the guy that's the writers of those were a little more fans of the 80s horror slasher genre than maybe they were the Saw stuff. And that's why they got to do those movies. So that's my 2 cents on that. If anybody's ever seen them or never seen them, check them out. So, Runner, what do you got for us for your second pick of the night?
All right, so this second pick is it's actually a horror movie.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. It's a pretty decent one. I got to rewatch it I've seen it once, and I do have the sequel on 4K. I haven't gotten to see the sequel yet. I have the first movie though, and I've seen the first movie. It's pretty good. Probably gonna give it away if I tell you who the cast is, but okay, I'll say this much. Try not to talk.
Oh, Don't Breathe?
No, it's not Don't Breathe.
Oh,
good guess though. Good guess.
If it's what I think it is, I don't like those movies.
Tremors?
No,
Tremors.
not Tremors.
What is that movie?
Any movie that Fran Drescher's in?
It's just it's with the aliens, the silent, whatever John Krasinski people.
Oh, Quiet Place. Yeah.
Quiet Place. Yeah, I don't like that movie. I don't like those movies.
I have it, but I haven't seen it.
I didn't enjoy it. Thought it was kind of stupid.
I thought it was pretty good. Why?
I just did not like it. I thought, especially how John Krasinski went out like a little bitch, and it was so stupid. I just couldn't get into it.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie. It was interesting.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I mean, I can kind of understand why you wouldn't. Well, I can understand why someone like you wouldn't be a fan of it, but I thought it was fine. Bad art movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means, but
but I know a lot of people did like Steven.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like them.
I've only seen the first one. I've actually heard I've heard the sequel's better.
Don't know. I have no interest. So
I don't know. I thought it was an interesting take. This is probably the best movie I've seen from Platinum Dunes.
I'm just not a fan. I didn't care for it. I thought it was kind of stupid. It was like nobody can talk. Nobody can say this. Let's sign language the whole movie. And I mean, you could pretty much tell exactly where the movie was headed from the beginning. And it was so predictable and so boring and just so stupid.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting. I liked where John Krasinski was going because he directed and wrote the movie.
Yeah, I know.
And I liked it. Yeah, is it predictable at times? Yeah, probably. Whatever. They're not supposed to talk. I think I like the tension in that. It's like if you talk, it's like, oh shit, like this person's gonna die. You know, I like that. Like I like the stakes. You know, it's like which arguably some movies are missing nowadays. You know what I mean?
I get you, but
so that's why I didn't hate when John Krasinski died.
Spoilers. What if nobody's seen it?
Well, Greg,
Tom never said he saw it.
Motherfucker, you were the one that was like, oh, it's so stupid that John Krasinski died. Like,
I never said John Krasinski died.
Yes, you fucking did.
No,
you
I
said
didn't.
He died like a bitch.
I never said that. I just said he went out like a bitch.
That's the same fucking thing.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways,
went out like a bit. Like, yeah, that's another way of saying the person died at the end of at the movie. Yeah, same damn thing.
Anyways, but I mean, I'm glad you did it. I'm just not a fan of that. I just I've talked with Tom and stuff. I'm not a fan of modern horror. I'm just not.
I'm not either. This is one of the better ones.
And I was more a fan of like slasher type movies. That's my genre of like horror. So like these aliens. I'm not a big alien type thing like that type of way. If I'm going to see aliens, I want to see something like Alien, like with Ridley Scott's Alien and James Cameron Alien, something like that, or something where they're like just really scary.
John
And
Carpenter's The Thing.
yeah, something like that. I'm not a fan of like.
I mean, don't get me wrong; those are the better Alien movies, but like this is a cool, interesting take. Like, I don't know. I thought it was fine. I thought it was an all right movie. If you want some relaxation, you might like this. I don't know.
I didn't, and I have seen it. I've seen the first movie.
Well, obviously, you keep saying you don't like it. And I was gonna say that you're an idiot, not because you don't like the movie, just because you're constantly blaming me for spoiling that part of the movie when you already said that he pretty much died. Going out like a bitch is the same thing as saying that this person died in the movie.
I meant he was going out dressed as a female dog.
Please
but it's different because Greg was making a joke.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't give a shit.
Please shut up, Greg. You're such a dumbass, but I love you.
I get you, man. I know a lot of the thing is I know a lot of people like Quiet Place Part 2. I know a lot of people like that. It just I didn't care for it. I just didn't.
I heard the sequel was better.
That's what everybody in the chat seemed to think. The sequel is a lot better. So check it out.
So that's why I plan on seeing it. If I get the time to watch it, maybe I'll show it next week. I don't know, but I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen the first one.
Okay. But any thoughts? Anybody else? I wish we could talk. It was like every time Runner, that's two movies you brought. Like none of us could talk about.
Yeah, I knew. Well, I mean, you did. We did sort of talk about it. It was just a disagreement. That's all. That's all it was.
I know. It wasn't my speed, man. I just can't get into that. I don't know what it was. I just really didn't care for that movie. But yeah, I mean, trust me, you're not the only one. People in the chat like the first one, and I'm not. I don't want to put anybody down. You know, I'm not saying don't like the movie or anything. It's just it wasn't my speed, and I'm glad that people do enjoy it because it is something like what I've heard with modern entertainment. Because a lot of us don't like a lot of modern entertainment. It is one of the few that movie and the second one that a lot of people seem to like. So.
Yeah, and I wanted to see the second one in the theater, but I just didn't have the time for it, sadly, because I've heard I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah. What's up, VHS Mikey? Happy Halloween, man. Glad to see you. But Tom, are you ready for your next pick? Unless Runner, you got something else you want to say?
Nothing much. I'll say this. My last pick, which is basically gonna be in the middle of this stream. It's going to be a movie that we all like. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
And that movie we'll get to talk about more.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Tom, what do you got for us for your next pick?
Oh, Lord. I talk about being double dipped, quadruple dipped, lots, right?
Right.
And I've joked about Halloween being the movie I've bought the most, and I've insisted that might be one of them. Maybe, if not this or that other one, maybe Evil Dead, stuff like that, Army of Darkness. But there is one that's actually more than that. More than all of them.
I thought your pick was Army of Darkness for a second.
No, in fact, I'd be willing to put money that this movie has been released on home video more than any other movie ever made. Because I have here in my possession multiple copies. I used to have, I don't know how many VHS copies. I've had other DVD copies of this that I no longer have because I had use for them. In hindsight, I kind of wish I'd kept some of them, but we'll get into that. But just for whatever reason. But you type in the title of this movie and DVD on Amazon, and hundreds of different versions will pop up. You haven't figured out what I'm talking about already.
No.
It's George A. Romero's classic, Night of the Living Dead. This
I should have
was
guessed
for the
that
longest
one.
time one of the best versions available. This was the Elite DVD that was actually the same as their Laserdisc. That was the first time since the movie had come out that it had been remastered from the original 35mm negative. And this is one of the versions I can recommend highly because it also has a lot of great special features on it. But that's a good one. Here's one I can't recommend too much. This is one from Anchor Bay.
I'm not digging the cover.
No, well, not only that, this is the infamous version where they added 15 minutes of new scenes to it. Directed by John A. Russo, and they added a new soundtrack. And yeah, I keep it mainly just for that reason, just because it's a weird oddball version of it. Other than that, it's not worth keeping. Then we have this, which is actually not a bad release. This is from Fox, believe it or not. And it has a colorized version that is not too shabby for colorization. And it also has a commentary from the MSTK3 guys and some other fun stuff. It also has the black and white version on it. And these two also have new 5.1 mixes on it. And there's reasons why I'm bringing all this stuff up. We'll get to that. Then we have what then became the definitive version for a while. And this is Dimension's release of it. And I believe it was just because it was a better upgrade of the Elite scan is why. Because this is literally coming from a Laserdisc. I think this was actually from a high definition master. So for a while, this was a good one. It also had Q&A with George Romero, One for the Fire, which is a new feature-length documentary, which is a good one. Then we've got one of the Blu-ray releases, the early Blu-ray releases. This also has a George Romero documentary, and it may even be the same one that's on here. I can't remember. I think it is, because I think I got pissed.
You've got way more copies than I do. I got 3.
Okay, that's the classic haul that I kept. I don't know how many dollar bin versions of this movie over the years too.
Yeah.
Because it was just one of those movies where I just buy one just in case this one looks better than the other ones I have.
Right.
Because until we got some of those better releases, then finally we got one of the most gorgeous remasters of the film from Criterion and the Museum of Modern Art.
Very
and
beautiful.
Now the film is technically under copyright again by Image 10. And this was the best looking version. Now, special features wise, kind of a letdown. And then they proceeded to use that 4K master for a 4K release. This one is the newest one. And I can recommend it if you don't have this version, but if you have this version already, picture wise, it's pretty comparable. I'll say that. But it is the best it's ever fucking looked before. Right? The only thing that might complain is the lack of special features on here. Not a whole lot, considering the bevy of discs I have to keep for all those special features. It would have been nice to have most of those loaded up onto this.
Right.
But yeah, so I still recommend it, especially if you can find it for a decent price. It comes from the original negative. It has the work print, which isn't really all that different, to be honest with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the scenes in it that we were promised either, which is kind of weird.
Oh, that sucks.
Because there is a weird jump cut in the movie, and that weird jump cut's in
that one, yeah.
In the other version too. So in that jump cut, there's supposed to be like a bunch of scenes that got cut out of zombies. The only thing that's really different in the Night of Anubis cut is it's got the day for night shots of the zombies and not the night shots they redid. There's some of those shots in there, but like some of the earlier shots you can tell are the ones they redid. But otherwise, it's mostly missing footage from the other version. It jumps like a good 5 minutes or so or better in the beginning of the cut, which is weird. But yeah, no, that's about the only major special feature on this. There's some interviews with some newer directors. Well, not newer, but modern day directors and stuff like that about it. But again, big disappointment considering the load of special features that I just pointed out that are on all these discs in comparison. Even if you take out that stupid version. But they didn't even carry over any of the 5.1 mixes or anything. I don't even think it has very many trailers on it, only like 2.
Really? Not even from the last one?
I think it has a remastered trailer for the re-release. But I mean, other than that, yeah, there's like interviews with some of the original stars. That one's okay. There's commentaries, but that's really the extensiveness. There's some minor cool things here and there, but that's my biggest letdown is just the lack of special features in it. But otherwise, the movie looks great. It's from my thing is downstairs. I think it's this one here. Anyway, it was taken from the original negative and a fine grain print of the negative. Because not all of it was still in pretty good shape, but for the most part, And they cobbled together the sound from like 16 different sources, I guess.
Well, at least it got good
Look at
sound.
that oldie.
Yeah, I had brought out my old VHS.
That's another one of the Blu-ray releases you got there. Yeah, I used to have that one runner, but I gave that one away.
Yeah, this is Mill Creek, and I bought it for like $5 at Menards of all places.
Menards. Yeah, I want to get to this real quick, and then we'll get back to the night of because there's some questions and stuff. But we got a super chat from MJG 3299 ZAR, which I believe that is South African money. Well, thank you, MJG. I don't think I've ever seen you here. I appreciate that super chat, and since you did give us a super chat, remember when you watch those Leanna Quigley movies, she knows what you're doing.
I know what you're doing when you're watching my movies. Just how many calories do you think that burns?
Which will come into play later, to be honest with you. But yes, that is great. That is great. Thank you, MJG. I appreciate that. Brian Barth wants to know, which is better, Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead, the OG? Tom, you want to go on that one?
OG, okay. Dawn of the Dead.
Personally, Day of the Dead is my favorite one.
Oh, we got a outside there.
Really? I like Day of the Dead, but it's not my favorite.
For some reason, I've always gravitated towards Day of the Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think they get better as you go along. Night of the Living Dead is like very basic, very primal,
but it's still a good watch.
Oh, absolutely. And then Dawn of the Dead is like taking that concept to the next level in a different way. And then the third film is like,
I really love the way Dawn of the Dead like opens. I think the way it opens is really fucking good with that score as well.
Which one are you talking about, though, Runner? We're talking about the
original,
OG.
The original.
Okay, I was going to say.
No, listen, as much as I like the remake more, the original had a better opening than the remake.
I was going to say. I'll be the odd one out here. This is why sometimes I don't like picking which is better, because people sometimes say, so it means you don't like this one or that one. No, I enjoy all three of the movies. They're fantastic movies. I own all three of them. I love them. But out of the three, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead is my favorite. So
Dawn of the Dead's your favorite? Okay.
Dawn of the Dead's not the outlier.
Okay, so
that's true. You're the outlier, not me.
I'm the outlier.
You're on the same page as me, Greg.
Yeah.
I'm believe it or not, so I have Night of the Living Dead on Blu-ray from Mill Creek. I have Day of the Dead from Shout or Scream Factory, whatever. And I did order that fucking 4K from was it Second Sight, and motherfucker gave me the Babadook instead.
Yeah,
I am so pissed off that happened.
Yeah.
Thank God I got my money back for that.
So you better be glad, because Babadook suck. Night Owl and Snow Tom, do any of them have the Romero commentary? I heard they recently, and it was pretty good.
I I don't know which one's which though. Like I said, I think he's done multiple over the years, but there is like I think 2 commentaries on the Criterion one. I don't know which ones they are though. I don't know. I'd have to go through them all. It's been years. I think Tim over at the Digital Bits has done a pretty good rundown of what. Like I used his reviews to know which ones I had to keep and which ones didn't matter.
Right. Tyrell72, I like Land. I don't really care for Diary of Survival, but Land was all right.
I couldn't get through Diary or Survival, but I like Land. Like Land is really good. The first 4 are really, really good, yeah.
I haven't seen Land yet or Diary or Survival. I haven't heard of Diary or Survival.
Diary of Survivor is not very good, but Land's pretty good. It's got a good cast. It's got Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo's in that one, I think. Yeah, but Dennis Hopper's in it. Yeah. It's got a pretty good, decent cast. It's not a bad.
I forgot Island of the Dead too, which is I think the last one.
Oh yeah, Island. Ooh, I think I try to forget that one. And now, to be honest with you, they're making a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. I don't know if you've heard this one. It's been in the works for a while. And which is weird. It's supposed to be a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, the original Night of the Living Dead, and it's bringing back the cast of Day of the Dead are going to be in it. The 3 survivors from that movie.
Really?
Yes, the 3 original, the woman and that black guy, and yeah, they're going to be in it. And the guy that, speaking of which we talked about earlier, the guy that plays Art the Clown, Terrifier, in that movie, he's going to be in that movie, so he has something to do with that. So, yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Well, I know Day of the Dead is actually owned by some other company or something like that. The title is.
Right.
So that may have something to do with it. Are they going to call it Day of the Dead 2 or Night of the Living Dead 2?
It's Night of the Living Dead Part 2 is what it's called. Yeah. I haven't heard much about it other than they released a small teaser featuring the cast of the Day of the Dead and said it's been in production. So, yeah. That's about all. That's about all they've done. And the guy that the Art the Clown, the Terrifier, has something to do with it.
Yeah,
so,
you have to send me a link. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, that's what's coming soon. But I love Night of the Living Dead. It is great. It's one of my all-time favorites. And I guess I'll just stick with my Blu-ray Criterion over the 4K. Is basically where I'm going to be at right at the moment.
Again, it just depends on your personal preference, but I don't really see, unless you can get it for a really, really good sale, any real reason to have to, because they're the same scan.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
I think I checked out just to compare, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't, it looks better, but it's not like a huge, massive leap.
Is it kind of like the Universal Monsters?
Kind of, not to that extent, because it's a little bit better than that, because you do have a lot of it from the negative. So that does make a difference. But since the Blu-ray is fairly new anyway, and it's from a really good scan, it's that same scan anyway.
Right.
They did such a good job on that Blu-ray that, frankly, like, yeah, I don't think it's going to go out of print anytime soon, so. Yeah,
Makes sense.
I think you're better off just kind of holding off till you can get it for like $10 kind of thing. Maybe 20 in a half price sale if
you talking about the 4K?
Yeah, like it's not a huge leap in quality because that Blu-ray is so new already that
Okay.
And it doesn't have color. I mean, maybe the lights and darks are a little bit better, and you get a little, like I said, some overall a little bit better grain structure and maybe a little bit of clarity and resolution. But it's not like this movie is. Honestly, it's not really even that deep as movies like Dracula and Frankenstein, for that matter, as far as the, even getting a little bit more resolution, pulling a little bit more out of the backgrounds and stuff, to be honest with you. So I really don't see a real reason to upgrade unless you really, really, really want to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to I bring up the Universal Monster thing because I'm cool with the Blu-rays with that. I don't think I need the 4Ks for that, so I don't think unless like I find it really really cheap on sale. I know it was on sale for $34.99 at the moment on Amazon.
Yeah, that's too much.
But even
I
then,
wouldn't spend that.
yeah. Even then, I'm like maybe if it comes down to like $20, I might buy the 4K because I know Criterion sometimes they have that half off sale. So maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah. So is it to me? You know what's funny is I searched for that teaser, the Night of the Living Dead 2 teaser, and I love the fact that the video I did on it is like right up there with it. So that makes me happy. But is it my turn? Is it that where we're at?
Well, I think it's all of our turns now, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember where were we at that time.
Because we actually sank up for one, so we made sure we all watched the same movie so we could all talk about it tonight.
And this kind of bleeds into what we were just talking about with Night of the Living Dead, because this, in essence, is sort of a sequel, sort of.
It is actually technically.
Yeah, technically.
Because the other guy who produced the original with George Romero owned half the rights. So technically not even like legally it is kind of a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. There was a bit of a hullabaloo with the in court, but this guy won. So
yeah. And George, that's why all George's were like Day and Dawn. He was no longer allowed to use.
And George didn't give a shit.
Return.
He was all for it. It was actually somebody else who was suing on behalf of him through a studio thing. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Because he technically couldn't do nothing because he didn't have a copyright on the first movie until recently, but just before he died. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. But everybody hold them up, and we'll start. I'll count to 3, and we'll all show the more paramedics. Okay, on the count of 3, everybody turn on your camera. 1, 2, 3. Of course, runner would be the slow one.
Fuck you, dickhead.
He's a freaking runner, and he was the slowest one.
And I did bring the other one just cause. So.
Did you? You want to show real quick?
Yeah.
Greg, there are times where I want to push you.
See, I missed out on the Blu-ray, so I was really excited to get the 4K, and it did not disappoint me. It is a really great looking 4K. Like me and Tom talked a little bit, there's maybe 1 or 2 scenes where you could tell they had to use other stuff, but it's a really good, really great.
Mostly
4K.
from the negative, it appears. Yeah. So a couple shots that I kind of scratched my head, but whatever. No, and it's a huge step up from the old Blu-ray, which isn't even that old of a Blu-ray. It's what, 2016, 17, something like that. I don't even remember when they released it here. Signal takes longer to get to the
basement. But I do love this movie. And that, like Mikey says, there's really no beating them in by traditional means. Yeah, you can't shoot them in the head, because I love that, because we talked about Night of the Living Dead, and they like, how'd they kill him in the movie? They shot him in the head. They shoot him in the head, and then it's still alive. Because it worked in the movie, but didn't you say the movie lied? So
a bunch of rabid weasels.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that freaking scene when he's sitting there telling him the story about they're in the basement. Do you want to see them?
Speaking of soundtracks and everything, like
definitely,
this movie has an infamous soundtrack, and the movie itself was kind of a surprise. What's weird is this is one of those movies that I think I saw accidentally as a kid, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah,
because I have this foggy memory. Because I think I thought it was the Thriller video at one time. I was with my cousins. And I ended up watching it for a little bit, and it scared the bejesus out of me. But it was only certain scenes that stuck out to me. And I must have been really young, because it came out in, 85? 84?
So. Let me check.
Somewhere in there. So, yeah, I'd probably been 4, maybe.
Yeah, 84. 84.
Yeah, 4, maybe 5 at the most. So, just something about it stuck with me, and it was one of those movies that I rediscovered later on when I was on my horror kick. I'm like, that's the movie I saw as a kid. It scared the hell out of me. 'Cause I remember, you know, like the one zombie and all that kind of business, and said more paramedics, and just how brutal it was, and how the zombies moved. And I think one of the other scenes that stuck out to me was the cop scene or the paramedic scene, one of the two, where the zombie comes in the door like quick as shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
just it still gave me a jump this time. That was the only time I kind of jumped just a little. But otherwise, it's like, oh yeah, duh. Like I remembered everything because I've seen this movie a handful of times.
The way the way the zombies talk in this movie is fucking great.
I know brains. I love that. I love the scene.
When he says brains, it's like you can't not laugh at that.
Why do you eat brains? Because it makes the pain go away.
As creepy as that, like as funny and goofy it sounded, but it's really creepy because it gives you an explanation of why these zombies are eating people, and it's really spooky. I love it. I mean, yeah, I can feel myself rot.
Oh, I love that scene. That is so awesome.
It is. It's so great. And the freaking guy, I love Ernie. And it's Bert and Ernie, by the way.
Yeah.
And I love Ernie he's from Weekend at Bernie's, all that. That guy's facial expression.
Yes. Hilarious.
His facial expressions sell everything he does. It's so good. And I mean, you know what FanZcene likes? Leanna Quigley.
Oh,
Trash. Yeah. The scene dancing in the graveyard.
Oh yeah.
4K boobs once again is just beautiful.
Now, speaking of TV cuts, I wish they had the fucking TV cut of this movie on the disc.
That would be nice on this one too, because
this is one of those movies because they have a version where she's half clothed instead of half on, are all naked through most of it. And what's his face? What's the guy that trashed Suicide, yeah. His jacket that says "fuck off" or whatever.
Yeah.
In the TV cut, it says TV cut.
What?
Now I want the TV cut. Did you watch the work print? Maybe it's in the work print.
No, it's not in the work print that I can remember. But yeah, that's what I was like. Shit, they got the work print, but they don't have the fucking TV cut. Because I remember seeing that when I was younger on TV once or twice on Halloween. They showed it. Yeah, I remember getting a kick out of that because they even had some fun with the fact that it was the TV edit.
Yes.
It makes it a TV cut or TV edit. I can't remember which. I think it says TV cut.
It might say TV. Yeah, that was cool. I would love to see that. I don't think I've ever actually seen the TV cut. I've always seen the theatrical version. So that would have been nice.
But yeah, that means they have two different versions of most of the scenes with Leanna because, her being naked through most of it. Yeah.
And I love the fact that she actually stays naked the whole movie. It's so funny. And I do like how she actually sets up her own death, which was pretty funny. Where she's talking about how the worst way to go would be surrounded by a bunch of old men just eating your flesh, and then that's how it happens when they all come out of the grave. I love that. And I love the tar man. It was mentioned. That scene did make me jump a little bit too when they when they go down into the basement.
When I was a kid, he was the main thing. The tar man, It was just the way he moved and shit. It still kind of gives me the willy.
It is, and it does that. He does look pretty good in 4K because the ooziness and that stuff you can see on him. And,
this looks gorgeous in 4K considering, it's an indie film. Orion / MGM owning the rights to it. Lord knows how it's been kept, but it comes from the original negative, sans a few shots, clearly some that for obvious reasons. So I'm not even gonna balk at that, but no, as far as the print goes, the sound, the 5.1 mix is the same as before, so that part's whatever. It's also got the mono mix and the stereo mix. The stereo mix sounds like mono to me for some reason. I bounced a couple times throughout, but like I said, huge improvement over the older discs. So in that sense, I can recommend it. They didn't pull a weird double dip on us with the poster in the movie. I think if you didn't get the poster, though, I think that's out of stock now.
Yeah, I didn't get the poster.
But yeah, because just this art, this is one of those posters. Like we were talking about Fright Night earlier. This is another one for me. that just screams 80s, right? Like, yeah, just that iconic poster. It was one of those you always remember seeing it on the video store shelf. It was just a comfort.
And they didn't even bother to give new artwork to this because it doesn't even have a reversible sleeve. It's just like, we're just going to give you the artwork right off the bat.
All that much. Yeah. This is not. Even this one, as you can see, I switched it over to the original.
Yeah. So I almost watched Return of the Living Dead Part 2, but I didn't have time because I was going to bring that too, but I didn't have time.
I was going to attempt to, but it's not one I'm a huge fan of, so it just kind of was, I'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm going to get to it myself. I like Part 3 too, but mostly, once again, I'm a lover of women, and that chick in that Part 3 is super hot.
I ain't seen it since way back when. I think it was one that premiered on Cinemax.
Yeah, it was
when
one
we
of
were
those.
talking about those Cinemax premieres.
Yeah. It was one of those, but yeah, it's a fun, cheesy movie. It's not as good, nowhere near as good as the first one, but she's pretty damn hot in that movie, right there with Lena Quigley. So that makes me happy. But you cannot beat Return of the Living Dead. It is a great movie, and if you can get I know it's like $30, but that's not bad for 3 disc and all the special features you get, plus the new 4K scan. It's
I
not
have a
bad.
feeling you'll be able to get it for 20 before long. Wasn't it 20 something on the Shocktober sale?
Was it on sale? Was it part of the sale?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it was.
Now. I could have swore it was because I was kind of pissy, but it was only by a few bucks than what I paid. Because I got the poster and shit too. So, and they didn't charge outrageously for that package, from my recollection.
Yeah, the package was not as bad as some. So, but yeah.
It would have been cool if they had some pins, because I would have loved a pin of like the Tar Man, and like this is a pin would have been really cool.
Yeah, or her face when she's a zombie, with her big mouth open.
Yeah, that's another one you could have done.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Maybe one of Unita.
Yeah, the Unita. I love that.
The sign.
Yeah, welcome Cosmic Squirrel.
Well, that's the joke, right? All these. This is based on actual events. None of the names and places have been changed for. The first thing that pops up on screen is
I love it.
You need a bodies and supply or whatever it is.
Resurrection Cemetery and Resurrection Mortuary.
Yeah.
I have a question about that beginning. Like, what the hell is that about? Like, saying these are events that actually happened. It's like, what?
Okay, clearly you didn't just listen to what I just said.
I'm confused. Well, no, I was. Well,
it's like saying the following is based on actual events, but the names have been changed. In fact, Betty is now Barb. Like something like that. It's like an airplane opening, basically. It's like,
it's like a joke.
We're saying this is based on true events, and the next thing you see is you need a body, mortuary, and supply guys. Like what the fuck? No way that's real.
I thought you were just explaining the short version. Like
no. I'm just saying that was the whole point. Is they build up this thing like it's true story, and then the first thing you see is that fucking sign.
Yeah,
and you're like, no, this is not obviously.
This is good.
No, and what's even better is they try to sell it as a true story inside of a true story, right? Like it's like the whole idea that the Night of Living Dead actually happened, but they made a movie out of that as long as they didn't say it was a true story, right?
Yeah,
but this one they're saying it's a true story. Yeah, like
no, because that threw me off, and I wanted to ask you guys why that even happened.
You see, you got to remember this is, even though it's a horror movie, it's a comedy too. So
yeah,
it is definitely a satire. It is
satire.
Yeah, that's true.
It is such a satire in a sense that I think that's why it didn't really scare the hell out of me as a kid so much, as it just kind of was like I had some fun with it. Because once you get to that last quarter of the film, it's nothing but just balls out fucking fun.
I know,
right? Like it's
just like they funnel all them cops and paramedics into that one area and they just start eating it. I love it. It is crazy. It's a good time.
And you just end up like Clue is just so like all the whole cast is
right.
Great. Like and Dan O'Bannon, of course, did a great job with it, and he had he had directed it and wrote it. So like and I'm trying to remember, was it Russ Steiner? I think it was one of the producers, either John Russo or Russ Steiner, I think it was, that worked with George Romero on the first Night of the Living Dead, and they owned half the rights. So that's why this is technically a sequel. And not even like in a, oh, we're kind of goofing around with the idea. No, like legally.
Yeah, technically. But Runner has got to like run.
Yeah, Runner is always running.
I know Runner's gonna run.
Sorry, I gotta leave you guys. Hope you guys have fun. Thank you, chat. You all are awesome. And yeah, check out my channel, obviously, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. And Sunday, I believe I'm gonna be on Vinny Tartamella's channel talking about some Evil Dead.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched his live stream.
Say, hey, Vinny.
Yeah, I'll let him know you said hi. But he was.
I said, hey, Vinny.
You got to say it right.
It's just a joke, man. Don't worry about it.
No,
but Runners.
Are you gonna interrupt me, Greg? No.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was watching his live stream, his most recent one, like in a Sunday live streams or whatever, and he thought like, hey, I want to talk about Ash versus Evil Dead and all that, and I asked him in the chat like, hey, I'm a huge fan. If you want someone to talk about it, I'm available, and yeah, so I'm gonna be on his channel probably.
Nice.
This Sunday, very excited about it.
All right. Well, make sure.
I plan on trying to get to those movies this week, actually, because I want to get to Army of Darkness in 4K.
So I got my. Go ahead.
It's a good transfer. It's a good transfer. And watch the rest of the show if you can, because I think didn't you say
we're gonna stick around for a few more minutes? Yeah, we got one more pick each. So
yeah, me and Tom got one more each. So stick around, everybody.
All right. Yeah, I'm the only one leaving. So
yeah.
Adios, mi amigos.
Deuces, my friend.
Speaking of running shoes, I do.
Bitches leave.
All right.
All right. Have a good man. Have a good one, Runner. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, man.
All right. Goodbye.
Can you fly, Bobby? No, and I mean, there's no new special features on this. That's besides not having the TV cut is my only gripe. Because otherwise, I mean, we cannot complain. This fucker is loaded to the brim.
Tell me about it.
Special features. It's got this 2.5-hour documentary. Or wait, is this the one that has a documentary on it?
It's got like all kinds of shit. It's got the work print, more brains.
I swear there's a documentary on it too that's really long.
Party time, the music, the origins, the Return of the Living Dead, Dead Have Risen. I think it might have it. Look at the film's locations, conversation with director Dan O'Bannon. It's got all kinds of crap, man.
Unless I'm thinking of another movie that had it, but I swear it was this one that had like a really long. They say it's a featurette, but it's like 2 hours. I could swear. Unless it's all these featurettes put together, that could be too.
It could be all.
I don't remember.
All together.
But yeah, like I just remember it having a lot of shit on it. And you know, this movie has never really been. The thing that I know was a big deal was the music. For years was fucked. The rights because they used Enigma Records at the time to do the soundtrack, and they didn't get the rights all kind of sorted out or whatever it was. Do you know the main thing about that or what that's all about? Or
with the soundtrack?
Yeah, with
some of the music, maybe. I think it's some of the rights issues with the music.
Like the Rocky Dennis song, and there was another one too. I can't remember. But they got it all sorted out for this release finally, I believe. I think it's. Or is there still one song that they couldn't get the rights to? I can't remember. I think they got them all for this release.
It sounded, from my recollection, from what I've seen and from the other stuff, it sounded like it was all the same music that was originally in it. I could be wrong. There could still be one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they got all the music.
I know all the ones that are on my record are on this, so my recollection. So I have that weird vinyl they released here recently. With the
green, is it the green one?
Yeah, like a green one. I think it is.
Yeah. But it's definitely worth it if you guys have not seen it, and it's probably the best zombie movies you'll ever see. For
good
a long
upgrade,
time.
Good upgrade. Yeah, even though there's no new special features, it's definitely worth the upgrade.
Yeah. I am so glad I upgraded because I have the MGM Blu-ray.
Ouch.
Yeah, And
that's one I think is an up convert, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's an up convert. It's one of the original, and I missed the Shout original Blu-ray, and it went OOP real quick, and I was like, I'm not paying $100 for this movie as much as I love it. And then when it
sold out pretty quick,
yeah, and then when they were like the 4K's coming, like I pre-ordered that bitch immediately.
I got one other complaint. One other complaint.
Go ahead.
Where's my goddamn Tarman figure?
Oh, that would have been awesome now, wouldn't it have?
How does that not happen? We've had some goofy ass fucking figures from NECA come in here and do whatever. Give me a Tarman figure.
And then we get a Stevie Wayne.
Give me this. Give me this. Give me these three guys right here. I'd take that too. You know what I mean?
Stand with them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's just half a guy anyway, not even. But like, yeah, these guys standing behind him, and yeah,
that would have been nice.
And Tarman would be great.
Would be. I mean, if they could do Stevie Wayne, they can do the Tarman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right? Like, and we got that one from Battlestar Galactica and shit.
Yeah.
Tyrell says he has one. Who did one? Was it?
I don't know. Did they do a Tarman one before?
I don't.
I've never seen it.
They did. I didn't know about it. Maybe McFarlane did, and I didn't know about it or something. I think I got it on Amazon. Oh, okay. News to me.
I'm looking to see if I see one. There is a Tarman toy. By Trick or Treat Studios.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look too bad, actually.
Let me see here. How much is it?
I didn't see the price. Hold
on. Oops. I don't want.
I know I'm gonna have to share this, so if I can find it.
Oh, they even got some nice Mezco Dawn of the Dead ones here that popped up. Got a T-shirt, but I'm not seeing the. You're gonna have to share it, yeah, because I'm not seeing it. What am I not typing in right?
I don't know. I mean, I'll show you the picture. I can't find a price, but I'll show you the picture.
Oh, it might be gone, long gone, and done with. Like,
I gotta remember how to do this now. Okay, there it is.
Oh,
they changed it. Do you see the picture of it?
Not yours, but I think I found it here. Tarman Deluxe action figure. First ever ball jointed. Diamond. Oh, this is Diamond. Put this one out.
I don't know if you can make that out there, but.
Oh, no, it's a different one than the one I'm looking at. Oh, that one's nice looking too, though.
This is like all the pictures of it. It says Trick or Treat Studios. I didn't find a price. That looks pretty cool.
I'll have to check and see if they still have them. They might not have them anymore.
That's crazy.
$335.
Brad says $335.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah, I don't think I'd go that far. But the Bat did want to know if you've seen the new Evil Dead remake, not the new one, the other one.
Not yet. I got the 4K. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. I'm gonna in my Evil Dead. That's what I was kind of.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear because I actually like that one because this was one that's where it's like how we talk about Fright Night and Poltergeist useless remakes, which they're not bad, but they're not really doing anything to, you know what I mean? The Evil Dead remake is essentially a sequel disguised as a remake, and they do enough, and it does get gross though. It does get pretty gross at times, but I enjoyed it.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, hopefully I'm going to check it out. I was even going to try and get, because I never got to finish season 2 and season 3 of Ash. So I was hoping to get to that too, but I just don't know if I'm going to have the time by next week or by Halloween or anything like that. But
right.
Yeah.
I need to finish season 3 myself. I finished 1 and 2. I just have never finished 3.
I might have finished 2, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Have a good one, Tommy. You have a good one too. Yeah. Tom, did you get your Stevie Wayne figure? Yeah,
no,
did you get that
yet.
from Shout yet? Not yet.
No, I got my set, but I didn't get the figure yet. So no, not yet.
I know that hasn't shipped yet. I don't think. But
moving on, we got one more pick each. Is it your turn or my turn?
Do you want me to go or you go? Because we all did that at the same time.
I can go first.
Okay, if you want to go. All right.
Don't matter to me. I, of course, watched, because I'm going to be talking about this on A-rated B movie, so I'm not going to get too deep into this, but We talked a little bit about this earlier on 4K for You because it's also being rumored to come to 4K. And that is the Michael J. Fox film, The Frighteners, from director Peter Jackson. And this is the 15th anniversary edition, which has the director's cut, which is 13 minutes longer. It doesn't seem like it. It's like I'm watching it and I'm like, certain things I recognized right away, but there must be a lot of little things that I didn't notice.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it with my dad, and we noticed a few, like, certain scenes
There's
are
a
longer. Certain things are longer than it. Yeah.
There was like one scene where like the ghosts are talking about a few things that gives you a little bit more information about their relationship and how what they can and can't do on certain things. And then the one that stood out to me the most was the scene with Jeffrey Combs' character where he actually goes through because that scene is really odd in the theatrical cut, kind of how it comes off. But in the director's cut, it's so much better because she sees the swastika on his hand and he's like, yeah, I knew him. Charlie. Yeah. Spawn Ranch, 1960, whatever. Like, and then he gets out of the car because in the other version, he just gets out of the car.
Yeah.
And stands in front of it and just rips open his shirt and he says, my body is a
roadmap of pain.
A roadmap of pain. And then it cuts from there to her just going, oh my God, whatever. Like, and then Michael J. Fox starts the car up. In this one, it actually goes into a long kind of spiel of all this stuff. So like, yeah, I liked this version. I wish we had gotten this originally. I mean, I liked it even more than the other version, surprisingly. So yeah.
Yeah. I think most of like the extended stuff is mostly the ghost stuff and her husband when he becomes a ghost. I think that's mostly
I
what
remember
they
now
cut
you
out.
say that. There's like another scene or two with him I remembered, yeah.
Yeah. And most of like the stuff with him and her and the people and it's mostly the ghost and Jeffrey Combs stuff is what they cut out. It just those were a little more extended.
Yeah, there's like another bit with Jeffrey Combs too, and I can't remember specifically. But
yeah,
not only that, you get a 3-hour making of behind the scenes bit here, and this is one of the best ever. Of course, Peter Jackson always delivers in that respect. Of course, commentary. You get and this is all stuff carried over from his Laserdisc of it back in the day, but it's still worth it. And if we get a 4K, I can't wait. I hope they take some care in it because this is some early CGI. We talked about this on 4K for You earlier. So,
and I hope he doesn't do a lot of the scrubbing that he likes to do with it.
That has me worried a bit too.
Yeah, because I know he has a thing of doing that, and that's fine. It's his stuff, but it doesn't necessarily make his movies look great.
Yeah, I'm just concerned with this one because it does have a lot of CGI. But no, the movie itself overall is a great story. It's a weird story as far as how it got made and the aftermath and everything that happened around it. And we'll get into that a little bit more on A-rated B movies, so I'm not going to beat that to death here too much.
Yeah, I don't, because I know you and Script's going to talk about it.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. But it is a really good movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a really tight, original idea. And of course, I wish he was still acting. Who doesn't?
Me too. Yeah.
But
he's a great actor.
Yeah, sadly for Peter, the studio, Michael, all those involved, the movie cost quite a bit. I think it had like a $35 million budget, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 million or something like that, somewhere in that region. Quite a bit for that, even for that time period, or even for now. I mean, and for that time period, it was like way too much. And I don't think it did that well at the box office. Actually, it might have had like a $40 million budget. It only did like 30 million at the box office or something like that, I think. It ended up losing money. I know that. And then some. So, but it became a cult hit on video. And, it was just one of those movies that found a life later on. And people picked up on it. I don't know if it was just Universal didn't do a good job advertising it, maybe. And, we discussed earlier that it started out as a Tales from the Crypt project. We'll get more in depth in that on Saturday, but I wonder if that might have helped its chances in the end too, even though they didn't want it to hurt its chances.
Yeah, you would think that they would that could have helped it a little bit, but I get where they would come from with it being the Bordello blood being a thing, not succeeding and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just
which is funny because there's a conflicting history here you have between the making of this and Bordello blood, and I believe the version more so in Bordello blood because it makes more sense.
Right.
You can tell that this history that's presented on this disc is a little sanitized. So, and that's just because they didn't want to make it sound like Tales from the Crypt was doing bad.
Right.
And that's really what it was about. Because on here, the only thing they kind of said that, it was meant to be a Tales from the Crypt episode. That's partially true.
There's
But if you
more
want
to
the
it
full
than that.
story, yeah, if you want the full story, get with us Saturday and I'll get into that. But yeah,
Yeah, check it out, guys.
I know you're a fan of it. I've seen it behind you
Mhm.
in your recent video. I noticed it.
Yeah, I love the Frighteners, and I'll catch you later, Bat. I hope you enjoy the replay. But yeah, like my dad. I actually just bought it on Blu-ray, that Blu-ray that you have not too long ago, because my dad really loves it, and he was like, "I wanted to." You remember that movie Frighteners with and Sean Astin? He remember or John Astin? He remember. That's why I say I like it when they lie still like that. That's his favorite part in that movie. He cracks
Don't
up.
tell the boys my ectoplasm's all dried up.
Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna buy this, and because I haven't seen it in so long, and I love it because I have the DVD still. Then I bought the Blu-ray finally, and it's just a fun movie. I love that movie. It's a great movie.
And then of course it was reminded earlier of the bloopers on this are great too because
Yeah,
Michael
he
J.
calls
Fox
him
keeps
Doc.
calling the judge the doc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Doc, I mean Judge.
Hey Doc.
I'm called the hanging judge for a reason.
Hate too old. Or, I can't even remember, but it was so good. I love it. And then I do love like Jake Busey's got me a score 27. That's more than Dahmer or whatever.
And they do a really good job of like building up that mystery because even though it's real simple and you should see it coming from a mile away, like they do just a great job in there of how they build it up and build it up and build it up, and even to the very point of the entering the third act, you're still almost not convinced. You know, Dee Wallace, you're still not convinced is the killer yet, and you're not 100% sure about, you know, is it Charlie being the ghost? You're kind of like you assume it a little bit, but you're not totally sure. Like it's still like the Grim Reaper. It's like, is there something more to that or whatever the deal is? It's like
exactly. And then like with the numbers in the forehead, because even when she watches a little documentary about,
you should be able to pick it up right there. It should make like all of it should come out like right there. You should be able to figure it out. Yeah,
whatever it is, it's a great storytelling with Peter Jackson and the actor because you don't connect it to that he's seeing the numbers carved in the head like he carved the head in his victims. You don't put that together till it gets to that point where he's in that car wreck and he starts flashing back to his wife. And so yeah, it doesn't really connect right away.
Yeah.
No,
but they did a great job with it, and I enjoy it. Sure, some of the special effects are a little, hokey by today's standards, but hey,
like we talked about, the Freddy Krueger still did it better than the CGI wall thing.
But, better than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Yeah,
even by beating it by 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, more than that, more like 15 years.
Yep. Barth, I think Michael J. Fox would be doing more serious roles. Like I know he did do a few of the episodes of the Good Wife, I think, where he was he would be doing more roles like that, more serious roles, I would think. So I don't know what happened to Jake Busey. I know he was in Stranger Things.
As far as I know.
Yeah, he was in Stranger Things season 3, and that was I think he does a lot of independent stuff, so yeah. I just really enjoyed the movie. It was great. And you got Arlie Emery as the guy in the graveyard. Here's my tour of duty runs till. Here's a plot up here with your name on it.
There's a piece of dirt with your name on it.
Yeah, I love that. And they did do a good job.
You can't live forever. You're going to be mine.
They do a good job. Like when
I don't like you, Bannister.
I love it. Like the way he changes outfits and stuff when he changes to the guns and then the boxing. They do a really great job of like smooth that, like all transitions really great.
That's just morphing technology.
Yeah, that morphing. Right? That's like at its
but that's finest. Just the point of not overdoing it. Sure, some of the ghost stuff kind of comes off a little Casper / Haunted Mansion now.
Right.
But you guys got to remember back then when they did this is only a couple years removed from Jurassic Park. So these are some pretty at the time I remember they were pretty spectacular special effects. I wish I'd seen it in the theater. I'm trying to remember if I did. I don't think I did. Maybe I did.
Might have.
That's the thing is I don't remember because I seen a lot of movies at that time in the theater, so it's very plausible that I just didn't remember because And I remember owning the VHS. I wish I still had it because it had that cool cover.
Yeah, the lenticular cover.
Yeah, where it transforms with the face like popping out, and it's all 3D. Yeah.
I wish they put that on like we talked about before, like cases and covers. That would be cool on the like a 4K or Blu-ray slip
Considering
cover.
we got this shitty I'm sorry, this is some shitty fucking.
Yeah, it's just like clip art.
This is some Mill Creek level shit.
It's like bad Photoshop.
This is what Mill Creek would do. God damn it! This is what Mill Creek would do.
Oh yeah.
Just forget it.
But I agree with you.
And I think they haven't said who's releasing it yet. I almost have a weird feeling that it's going to be Kino for some reason.
That would be nice.
And if somebody from Kino actually is listening, happenstance, do that, please, for the love of God. I'll pay an extra $5-10.
I will
if you make that cover look just like the fucking VHS.
Even
if it's just the slip.
That's all you needed done is the slip, the cardboard slip there. That would be awesome. They need to do stuff like that.
I also want a Frankenhooker like the old one too, goddammit.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons I ain't
covers like that, where you can like interactive covers where like that one where you can rub the blood on the one cover of the horror movie. I can't remember the name of it, but you got that one and you got the lenticular covers and stuff. Those were fun.
They need to take advantage of these slip covers. Do you know how many horror movies would be so awesome if you gave them the original slip covers that looks like the just like the VHS?
Exactly.
People buy that shit. I could picture the Friday the 13th movies all in like a OG VHS line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Nightmare on Elm Street films having the media covers.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, I was just say that would be cool as shit.
Yeah, that would be. That's legitimately half the reason why people buy some of the VHSs is just for the cover art, those boxes and stuff. I mean, if you did that with a slipcover, you would. I guarantee you, like you said, you would be selling them buku big time.
I remember that Frighteners when it came out. Like that was a cool. I'm like, I gotta get that one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was awesome, dude. Like,
it was
even speaking of Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell originally had kind of a embossed cover on it and stuff like
the
that.
mask was popped out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the snake and all that.
Yeah. I miss those covers, man. Come on, people. Give us the covers we want.
Yeah, I remember I was so disappointed when I got my Jason Goes to Hell from Columbia House and it was fucking just the flat cover. I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, New Nightmare was the same way. I was like, you motherfuckers, because that also had a really cool cover to it. Like, I didn't really like the art, but it had the, where it stuck out and all embossed and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would have been nice. People need to do this. Boku big bucks, big time. They would. They would.
Big bucks.
They would because
that's how we used to talk.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would buy this because I know a lot of people buy VHS. Some of them just for that reason. It's not really about the VHS. They just love the cover. If you put the slip just like that, you're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, Vestron's done it now for a while. The only ones that I like as an exception is like Vinegar Syndrome. For some reason, I dig their. Speaking of, I got my Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, did you?
So hopefully I'll have that in the next couple of days. I haven't seen it yet. It's shipped.
Yeah, I've seen it. Oh man, I want to check that out.
So hopefully soon I'll have it.
Yeah.
I've had Amityville now for almost a month and I still haven't got around to it. I watched like the first few minutes of it just to see how it looked. It looks all right, but
yeah.
Vinegar doesn't go through and really mess with shit. Like, that's one thing I've noticed when they do their 4K scans. They don't really, I don't think they add any DNR really outside of what the minimal, what's necessary. They don't even fix all the scratches and shit, which I don't really mind. It's like, if it's there in the negative, it's there.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's like the film grain negative scratch stuff. I like that personally.
Because a lot of times they'll run like an algorithm on that and you'll end up losing shit you're not supposed to sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
As well, like a line is actually like a line to something is actually like a scratch. It's like, no, that's the line.
That is the small worry I have about Frighteners coming from Peter Jackson and Brain Dead, Dead Alive, which I'm not so worried about Meet the Feebles because I never really cared much for that movie. But Frighteners and Brain Dead, Dead Alive, I worry about those.
They're gonna look rubbery, I bet. I bet the Meet the Feebles, even though I'm not a big fan of the movie itself overall, I do love its production design and it's just kind of what it is as
it's like the Muppets on crack and adult
just
level.
Kind of a fever dream at the same time.
Yeah.
I bet that one looks the best on 4K, even though he probably I have a gut feeling he's gonna fuck with them too much. Because speaking of, he scrubbed Lord of the Rings so bad that we showed images on here and I think on 4K for you where like Gandalf's staff was like gone.
Yeah, you could see the top of it.
I'd rather have that any day over. I mean, it doesn't have to be as pristine. I'd rather have as close to, don't manipulate it too much.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to clean up some stuff, that's fine. But don't, like, scrub the shit out of the movie. Please. Please.
I thought John Astin passed away.
I think he's still alive.
Is he?
Yeah, as far as I know,
John
Astin's
swore
still
he
alive.
passed away recently.
He might. Let's see if...
Maybe I'm wrong. He's still alive.
Yeah, 92. 92.
How did they not have him do the voice of Gomez in the new fucking Addams Family movies? It's just wrong.
It's not right, man.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's not right.
It's not right, my friend. It's not right.
All right. Well, anything else you got for us tonight?
Yeah, I got my final pick of the night. Blow myself up here. Almost. I don't know what I was thinking there, but this movie is absolutely frightening. It's something that you need to watch around Halloween if you want to be scared out your gourd.
Showgirls?
No. Mannequin 2 on the Move. No.
I got that on Blu-ray.
No.
I don't know if I should be embarrassed or if I'm bragging, but
I like Mannequin on the Move. I don't care.
It's not as good as the first
it's
one. It's
nowhere near as good as the first one, but it's really bad, cheesy one. I love it.
Christy Swanson is in that or something?
Yeah, Christy Swanson's it. That's one of the main reasons. I always had a crush on her as a kid. So, but no, seriously, my final movie, I don't know if you've heard of this one. Speaking a little bit of Vinegar Syndrome, the WNUF Halloween Special.
What the hell is that?
I love this movie. This is a great movie in my opinion.
I like how it looks so far.
Yeah, the slipcover. And speaking of like a boss, this is actually popped out, and so is the stickers here. Much like we were just
Kodak tape.
Yeah, and it says, I don't know if you can see, it says crap tape test first. So I love that. It's got
so what is
like
this?
This is essentially this guy. It's as if
I think I might now that I've seen that picture, but
Is
anyway,
that one?
continue. Sorry.
Yeah,
that looks familiar.
It's as if somebody were to have recorded a news special off of their VCR, and this is the tape. This is what it is. So, I've actually done a review on this. It's really good. The director actually liked my review. I'm trying to describe this. Okay, so it's basically like it takes place on October 31st, 1987. It's like the last couple minutes of a news broadcast. It's presented as VHS. When you watch it, it's 4:3 aspect ratio and it's VHS quality. And so it's like the last couple minutes of the news of a local news station, and it's going into their Halloween special where the reporter Frank is taking like an Ed and Lorraine type people into this house, a local house, like the Amityville house, and to see if it's haunted. And as they're exploring the house on the live broadcast, crazy stuff starts to happen, and you have to decide whether, I don't want to give the ending away, because you have to decide whether or not it's supernatural or something else. And it's as if somebody recorded this off their TV and left the tape around, and it's complete with commercials. They made fake commercials for the thing. So kind of like what I did with my Halloween special, which is this kind of where I got the idea for that. But yeah, I love this movie. It's a great movie. It's really fun to watch. If you've never seen it, I recommend it. It's just really good. I knew you've probably never seen it, so I know you probably can't talk about it. So
no, I mean, something about I swear maybe Chris Gore brought it up or something like that, but like, yeah, like it's kind of the first most I've heard about it. So sounds interesting. I may have to try and check it out.
It's
Is it
fun.
on Shudder or anything? Or
it's on Shudder. It's on Shudder.
That's what I kind of thought by the looks of it. It would be something Shudder. Maybe I've seen it. I didn't see it there, but I remember seeing that
picture with the girl
picture
on the front. Yeah. Now he did do a sequel. It's called this Halloween Mega Super Tape or something like that. It's not on Shudder or streaming anywhere. You have to buy it from him. It's not out yet. So it's like a crowdfunded movie. So I have not seen the sequel. So I'm interested to see what he's got planned for the sequel. And the sequel takes place in the 90s. So, but it's a fun movie. And if you get a chance to see it, the blue. I got this from Vinegar Syndrome when they did the sale not too long ago for like $20. So it's pretty cool. It's just I just had fun, and the guy that plays Frank is hilarious. It's even got. I mean, it says like as a special feature, it says the WNF Christmas special, which is really nice. It's just like a commercial for their Christmas special with the guy that Frank from this, and he's just freaking hilarious. He's like, "Join us for our annual WNF Christmas special. Everybody's going to be here. Ain't that right, Rabbi?" It's just fun. It's just fun. But I'm going to try to show you guys the trailer real quick if I can get it brought up, because I believe that I won't get a claim for the trailer because I've showed it before. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about here. So I got to get it ready. If it ever loads up, because my internet sometimes takes a minute. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Stop it. What am I doing here? Here we go. I think this is what I want. Okay. Let me share the screen. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I haven't seen the sequel yet too, but I've heard that the sequel was pretty good. So we'll have to wait and see what it looks like. It's like $30 for the sequel, and I don't know if I want to pay that for it yet. So, but if you guys are ready, I will show you the trailer for it once it pops up here. Okay.
Don't check your dial, folks. You didn't tune into Transylvania Public Access Station. No, sir. Tonight is Halloween.
Halloween is Satan's night.
Of course. So it would start
Satan's night. The night of the devil.
In on me.
Reporter Frank Stewart has a special Halloween treat in
all frozen
store for viewers tonight.
You want me to try and show it? Throw the link in there. I can try it.
To the infamous.
Do you know what happened in the Whipple House when people got killed there?
It's glitching bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's freezing to beat hell.
Try my
I can
internet
try it
does
if you
to
want
me
if
all the
not,
time.
but, like, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'll send you the link real quick.
Yeah, I can try.
I'll put it in the private chat here. Just to give people a taste of what I'm talking about. And also, if you want to go check out my review after the show, I did do a review on it. So it's somewhere on my channel. I remember Witchboard. I haven't seen Witchboard in forever. Night Owl.
Don't check your dial, folks.
Here you
You
go.
didn't tune into Transylvania's public access station. No, sir. Tonight is Halloween.
Halloween is Satan's night. The night of the devil.
Reporter Frank Stewart has a special Halloween treat in store for viewers tonight. He'll be leading a group of paranormal experts to the infamous Weber House.
Do you know what happened here in the Weber House? Some people got killed. Their son went haywire.
Frank Stewart and his team of experts will conduct the first ever live on TV seance.
Evil works in mysterious ways, Frank. It's unpredictable.
Are there any spirits in the house?
It's scary. That's far out.
That far up.
Something strange going on in this house. Animal mutilation, paranormal disturbances, devil worship.
Wait, whoa, hold on.
This is not staged. Hello? Is this the work of the devil?
Folks, we are going where no camera crew has gone before. Father, perform the exorcism.
This is not some Halloween prank. The grisly evidence of the supernatural is real.
We'll be right back.
You're watching the WMUF Halloween special.
Interesting.
Yeah, I dug it. I mean, if you can handle that, because it's it's made to feel like an '80s special. The news, it's cheesy, it's funny.
Yeah,
it's
like
funny
a Geraldo thing. I see what's up to.
Yeah, and it's fun. And the guy the director, when he shot it, he actually shot it on video, and then he ran it through like 3 VCRs to make it look like it was really faded. Yeah,
I thought that was something that they did just through After Effects or something.
Yeah, no.
Awesome.
He actually ran it through like 3 VCRs, and then like when he was selling the movie, he left tapes, actual VHS tapes, just lying around in bathrooms and stuff for people to find to watch it. So it was pretty interesting how it all came together. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And that guy playing Frank is hilarious. And like the people when he's interviewing outside are hilarious when he's asking them. And then it starts getting really dark and really serious by the time they get into it. So it's a fun watch. Yeah. But yeah, and plus I love the slipcover. Like we talked about with Vinegar Syndrome, because it's one of their partner labels. I love that slipcover. Perfect. But that is it. Yes, it is fun, and yes, I do believe it was shot on video because he ran it through the VCR. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say, Tom, before we?
Happy Halloween, since we won't see everybody before Halloween, I guess on this program anyway. So yeah, hopefully you find some scary and spooky movies like the ones we showed here tonight to watch, my friends.
Yes. I almost brought this one. This was almost going to be here, but I didn't get a chance to watch all of them, but I'll show it real quick.
That's what I think of when I think of Phantasm.
Phantasm. Boy!
We're gonna die.
I almost thought that was Kermit the Frog for a minute. Like, oh no.
Oh no. I don't want to die, Mr. Tall Man.
That's good. But yeah, I hope you guys do have a safe and happy Halloween. Enjoy some scary movies, some candy. Steal your kids' candy if you have to.
Absolutely. That's what it's there for. They don't need all that shit.
Exactly. I mean,
it ain't good for them.
It's bad for their teeth, man.
So that's why parents are supposed to go through and pick out all the stuff that they know is not good for their kids and take it from their candy and throw it away.
My niece.
Well, you don't want to waste food, so you should eat it. But
yeah. But my niece actually went to went a trunk or treat. It was some rich neighborhood she went to trick or treat last weekend because they were having it, and she got candy like I had never seen before in my life. She had like 10 Ziploc bags full of candy. Like one bag was all Reese Cups and Kit Kats, Whoppers and Milk Duds, and then Almond Joys and Mounds and Snickers and Twix. I was like, son of a bitch, I didn't get that shit when I was a kid. That's bullshit. It was crazy. And of course she had to steal some. I mean, it's tradition from the kid. So yeah, I couldn't believe that. But yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Hey, look, we got it to 2 hours tonight. Usually we've been going almost 3 hours lately.
Yeah, we managed to do that.
Yeah.
Tonight we got out of here pretty quick, though.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
It was fun. Glad to be here.
It It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to check for razor blades. I mean, you never know. I mean, this almond joy. I'm not sure if that's an almond. I got, yeah. But thank you, Tom. Thank you, Runner. I know you're not here. Hell to everybody in the chat for hanging with us tonight. Like I said, have a safe, happy Halloween. Enjoy your time. Check out Tom's channel, Runner's channel. Check out my videos. I got a bunch of like Halloween videos I've done here lately, so check them out, guys. Check out Tom. I said that already, but yeah.
Check out the video you just did with me.
Yes, check out that. Yes, because we had a really great conversation on the Physical Media Club featuring Tom. So check that out. That was really good. And that was very well received, by the way, on my channel. So people really enjoyed that. So
glad to hear it.
Yes. As far as like all these physical media chats I've done, I would say yours and Serial at Midnight are my top two that everybody seems to gravitate towards. So
cool.
Check them all out. I did some really great conversations with a bunch of people. VHS Mikey, Planet CHH, Tom, Serial at Midnight. Just check them out. They're great. But you don't have to go home. You can't stay here. And as always,
how you doing?
Bitches get stitches.
Bitches leave.